Start recording, start streaming. Okay, I think we're all ready to go. Welcome aboard, guys. Just going to kick things off just after I make sure everything is working. Okay, I believe I am sharing the right screen. It looks like it. I think we're live. Fantastic. I'll just get the stream up on another screen so I can monitor the chat box, make sure it's all working. I am sharing the right. Yeah, I think we're all good to go. So welcome aboard. If you don't know me, I'm Will Sebastian, professional multi-asset day trader, founder of the Profitable Trading Academy. I'm from Suffolk, East Anglia, or East Anglia, Suffolk, should I say, really, in England. So it's fantastic to have you on. I've done various different posts. Some of you guys know me, some of you don't. I know there's a lot of Academy members who attend my streams much all the time, which is great to see. I have updated various posts here, most notably my ORD one. So if you've been looking at ORD and following this, you would have made several, well, you would have profited various times. I've been updating it. It came long straight from where we called it, as have practically all my posts. normally I've got a very high hit rate, which I know lots of you know as well, and perhaps that's why you come and attend these streams. Breezing over the market, just index-wise, just to kick things off. Remember, you can ask questions in the live chat on the stream. So if I just pull this over here, you can ask questions right there. You can also ask questions in the stream questions box in the Discord. Okay, right there. Just so everyone knows and is aware, as it says on the stream banner right here, you can get my training underneath. Now, what that free training does is it details a different way to see the markets, which is exactly the way I do it, and it's highly accurate. If you're doing something everyone does, a lot of the time it's not going to work. So that is my free training link. You can just go under the stream and click it. It's right there. And if you want to join the Discord, which I can see some people are now, you can come and chat with us, and I post various different things. They're quite helpful too. If you want to follow me on social media, you can as well. So everything you need to learn from is underneath the stream, more or less, is what I'm saying. So from here, I'm just going to pop the stream box on the left-hand side. That's why I keep looking that way. And we're going to go ahead. So index-wise or future market-wise, whichever way you want to view these different assets, you've started to crumble down on poor renewed market sentiment. We came all the way up and you're falling now. So this week push there, we shorted, we went long there. I'm sure lots of you know that for light hedge longs, brushing on your 200 MA, and you're out of that sequence. And then you get another push here. And what's happening is something really interesting. This is clearly weak. That is also weak. So negative sentiment for global index markets and future markets persists, which we fully expected. I shouted it from the rooftops to get short there. I said it a million times. Hopefully you did. And of course, you should be up for gains. But that negative sentiment pulling those index and future markets down is still there. It still remains. Okay, so that is why you're not seeing anything really pushing you away. Now, if you go somewhere like, I'm just going to pull this on another screen so I can read it off. If you go somewhere like FX Choice, FX Street, or wherever you read your economic calendar, you'll notice that yesterday and today there's really not a lot going on. So the reason for that is just because there's no new sentiment. You've got the same thing tomorrow. So you would be relying on something to happen that was not it didn't have a specific date. Okay, and you don't have anything significant until you move slightly further on to Thursday. So Thursday might be ideal to give you some kind of impetus in the markets, but nonetheless, you've got various falls you're looking at and nothing exciting in global markets because there's no sentiment. But if you go into gold, and this is why I titled it How to Use Price Action and Get Accurate Entries, more or less, is what we're focusing on, is because if you look at this chunk of price action or this recent market movement on gold, you'll notice that the price had this news, it falls down here, okay, then it rallies straight away at significant, well, key support, if you like. It comes through all of these big candle wicks and it falls right down. So if you took it long there, that would be a relatively accurate entry. But what happens is you then fall from here. Now, that forms the basis for something interesting as well, because you can see that where you fell from doesn't really have any major price action. Okay, it's really weak. And that is why you come down here again. Now, if you're looking to rebuy this, you have to make a decision. You have to decide, okay, well, do I want to buy it there, like I could have bought it there? And do I want to reflect on all this PA to the left? Now, the answer is quite simple, and it's a method I use a lot. If you found that you push from here into poor rejection, okay, as we know you went up there, and then what happened again is that you came to this candle wick, if I just zoom in, this one right here, and then you came up. But look what happens when you pop up. Very tiny, tiny pushes with small candles, and then you come down again immediately. So it's telling you this cannot be strong for buyers, can it? Because every push you're having now is getting weaker and weaker and weaker. That's why I anticipate price to come through this level. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to short it. Doesn't mean at all. It means I'm going to hold off and I'm going to wait for something more significant. So something more significant looks like that, because you're on a higher time frame and there's clearly a bump in the road there. Right? So we're finished with this current PA. We've had enough of that. We want something stronger. We want something more ideal. It falls around there because you can see again, if you want accurate entries, you're going to have to take them where you've got rejection in the market. That's not to say every single level is going to bounce exactly the way you want. That's why you should have risk plans, like the ones I teach in my academy, and that's why on streams I just go over important points about picking trade direction, so everyone can understand. Obviously, the more advanced stuff is when you follow through further. So, as everyone probably knows, I'm looking long lower, 1872, but you can just see the way this is shaping up. When you get something like this, you can almost tell it's just ugly. It looks really ugly, okay? And you're just getting weaker and weaker and weaker. It doesn't look like this, does it? No, it doesn't look like that. With big, strong, full-bodied red candles, you know, it's here or there. It's minor, okay? So there's no strength there for longs. Not to say it won't pop up, because it might, but it's not for me, okay? And you've got sentiment dragging it down anyway, so I think you'll get lower. I think you get down there. If anyone's got any questions, by the way, put them in the Discord in the screen questions section, or simply type them on the chat box on the right hand side of the screen. That would be handy because it gives me something to answer. So oil, I had a member DM me and he asked me a few questions about this, but he took oil short. I put this in the private members analysis yesterday, which I posted for Monday morning, and you're now coming down. So if you took that and you followed what I said, you're learning from me, take the money, take it off the table because you've got gains. This big juicy red candle is whacking down. You've got profits and you can take them. Why did I call it short? What was ideal about that? Okay, well again, as I titled the stream, what am I looking for? Well, I'm looking where you can get key price rejection after a big slew of upwards movement. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green candles in a row. There isn't 6 green candles in the row until you go back to 2022, a year and a half ago. Okay, so I knew after this big rally, something has to happen. And our stochastic oscillator comes way up, right? You look to the left-hand side and you've got previous price rejection there. So you've seen the price come down rapidly once, and then you've got areas of rejection all around here. So various ways reasons why you would have entered them. But you've seen it fall here once. When it fell from here, 83, it ended up at 63, dropped $20 a barrel. So when you come back, you've got to ask yourself, what's it going to take for you to short it? Now, you'll notice as well, for this period from November 2022, okay, all the way to now, so it's November 2022, and we're at August 23, you've come sideways. And again, what about that? What about that price action do you not like when you come back to it again? So you've already seen it. It's a bit like your pound New Zealand. Look at where people have shorted and make an informed decision. Because on the flip side to the long, what happens every time? Do you think that's a coincidence? I don't. Now, moving on from that, again, you would be looking to come nearer your key moving averages, okay, because they're going to keep you at what is a fair price. And it just so happens it's more or less in the middle of this price channel that has taken you sideways. So this range-bound market, every market is range-bound. It's just how markets move. They are range-bound systems. It's fact. And it's just because prices move in between ranges so people can get high and low prices when they're making deals. It's the same as if you buy a car, you buy fish, you buy food. It all has a ranging market. You know, you're never going to get a pizza, unless it's really good. You're not going to get a pizza in the supermarket for $80 or £80 or €80, are you? Because the range normally is going to be anything from $3 to 10 or something like that. That is the ideal range. And like now with inflation, the price is fluctuating. It's $8, and it's $4, $5, $6, $3. You know, it's moving around. When I go and get a pizza and they charge me an extortionate amount just for the simple crust of bread with smeared tomato and cheese on it, you know, it's almost unbelievable how much they want for it now. But it's range bound, isn't it? The price was very low at one point, and the rate is coming to the top of the range. So your job as a trader is to trade in between the range with lotted risk. Obviously, this is less risky for shorts than you would have got here, or obviously shorts would be incredibly risky down there, hence why you wouldn't take them. Ultimately, what you have is a system where you get to the middle of the range and you might expect a bounce, which is where I normally scale in lightly long to catch any bounces, and then you probably find you get down here again. You can light long because you've hit it so many times. But my point here is simple. If you want to put your hit rate up, just look at what's happened before. It's the easiest thing you can do. Use your brain, use your eyes. It becomes obvious when you think about it like that, but people don't think about it like that. What they'll do is they'll buy. They'll buy here where people have sold. For some reason. I don't know why. But there you go. As I said, any questions, guys? Discord, the live stream chat box. You know, I'm all ears. Now, a pair I really like, again, you can use these PA rules for, it's the pound ord. I think you're going to run slightly higher with the pound ord. You're going to do it to keep PA zones. I don't think it's done yet. Just look how big and juicy the green candle is. But you shouldn't be buying, you should definitely be short. And again, your hit rate's going to go up if you're shorting high prices. Look at your stochastic oscillator always and just ask yourself, is it a good time to buy? It's never a good time to buy, more or less, right? When the stochastic oscillator peaks, you'll notice that not every time, many times, the market falls, okay? Orgen, thank you, Caveman Fergie. Maybe Alex Ferguson, who knows? Orgen, absolutely I can do that. Thanks for asking. So Orgen, much like what I said about your S&P futures market and your gold market, look at all these pushes. Look how weak they are. Okay? Look at that. It's terribly weak. And what you've got now is the ord turning on its head and nosediving straight down because it's had enough, believe it or not, of this very poor pushes to the upside. There's no buying power. Okay? So I'm holding off my ord. All and I like it long under this low. I need a new price action level to get that high hit rate. I need something significantly strong so that I can assess when it would be a better time to buy. And it's always a better time to buy when you've got that price rejection. Look at your candle wicks, look at what you can visually and factually see, and make a decision on it. All right? So I wouldn't be surprised if your oil comes down. And also, on top of that, if you just zoom in on the weekly, what does that look like to you? Does that look strong to the upside? Given it looks like a toilet plunger, and you've clearly got rejection where that candle wick is, and you pulled straight away. There's no long side bias there. Okay, just use your brain. If something isn't going up harshly, and it's had 3 times at doing it, it's probably going to be weak to the upside. Okay, so there's some key price action rules for you there. So I've got some more guys coming in the Discord. That's great to see. Welcome if you're coming in. If you're just coming in the stream, also I forgot to mention, it hasn't refreshed, but if you can press that boost button right now, very much appreciate it. If everyone can press that boost button, it brings me up the ranks a lot. And I would hope, at least from my hit rate, that what I'm posting is good. More people can see it, most importantly. So if you can smash the boost now, I would be very appreciative. Thank you to all those who've just done that. So pound New Zealand moving on, quite ideal as well. Remember, you can use your higher time frames to pick price action levels. What you're finding is the same as the pound ord, right? Your ord and your New Zealand are losing a lot of value against your Great British pound. You can see you're going through the 200 MA. Hasn't provided that change in bias entirely, but what you did have was all of this room to make money. Okay, I took various gains throughout all of this PA. If you don't have rules to hedge and DCA, effectively, you don't have a long-term trading plan. If you can master that, which is exactly what I teach people, everything becomes easier. Because all of the money you made here, within this stretch from the 19th of June to the 2nd of August, you've got a month and a half to accumulate profits so that you can extinguish any previous trades that you shorted and got wrong. Okay? So if you short it down here, this shouldn't be an issue because you can make money to get out of it. That is the difference. I don't use a stop loss because I know if I hedge and DCA, effectively I can make the money to remove previous trades. Okay, and that's what I spend my time mentoring people on. And that obviously is in my academy. So if you want to DM me on TradingView as well to ask me about it, you can. If you come in the Discord, just make sure it's me you're talking to. People do call me up for a consultation. You can do that. Just make sure it's me, like I said. If it doesn't sound like me, and I'm afraid it's probably not. But yeah, you can use all of this to get gains to mitigate those previous trades you got wrong. Okay? So just bear that in mind. Pound CAD, the same bias, but I think you're going to get slightly higher. It's mostly the same for all your pound pairs. I think you'll get up to 1719 on your pound CAD. I think your pound dollar, you've had a drop today. I think you'll get intraday longs. I did actually just call it intraday long before the start of the stream. So if you followed it on here, on my ideas, then you can probably exit that for profit. I don't like it enormously, but you've got 1274 to 1275. You would have caught that if you followed. Okay, so that's a really good question, Peaceful Antelope, and it's good to see you again. I'm glad you're punctual. So you're odd. You said that you started short yesterday, but the price is going up today. Well, I was short, and I'm shorted this morning again. And that's why DCA is so important, because what happens is you start from, let's say, you start the move over here on the 31st of July, so that was only 8 days ago. In that time, you've come up to 1683 from 1633, roughly, right? Now, if you're worried about the price going up, you may not be comfortably DCAing. But like I said, I'm short again. I was short various times. I'm still short. And it's because I'm looking for deals in the market where the price is too high for that period of time. If it keeps going up, which it very may well do, it doesn't faze me because my size is allotted to my equity size, so that no matter how high it goes, I'm never going to panic. And that is really key. Someone asked me about this as well. One of my newer members from Canada, he might be on here, so if you are, listen. He asked me, he said, what size shall I trade? Because I'm looking to trade things like Euro Ord, Pound Ord, but they're going up and I don't want to get scared. So I said, look, drop your size. There's no rush, just drop your size. And it's exactly what you need to do, because if you can't sustain a move like that, you will never, ever make money trading, because you'll trade things that go far further than that. Okay, so just bear that in mind. But my bias is still short, peaceful antelope. I scaled in further this morning short, and I'll keep shorting as it goes higher because the price only gets better. And I don't use stop losses, as I said, because any drag back on lower time frames like this can hedge. Okay? You've got very ideal lower time frame long zones because you're coming back to your key MAs, and you'll probably get a bounce. If you don't, you'll scale in lower as you go and remove and reduce those shorts. My risk plans are made so that if the price is getting too far, your drawdown per asset is getting too high, you can do things about it there and then. Okay, you're not waiting for it to go higher and panic. So if that's a problem with the price going up, then I'd reassess your plans, or of course join the academy because it's up there. But Euro Ord, I'm short, just like I am Pound Ord. Okay, both of them I still like short. So dollar CAD as well, I like as another asset to trade. I like it short now. I think this is really good technically. You've got your stochastic oscillator way up from lows down here. But what is interesting is that you're now coming to this key 200 moving average. Right? Now, it just so happens that that key 200 MA coincides with previous price action zones. That's very ideal. Okay, so if you look across to the left, you can see you've had it various times where the market has bounced from this level. Meaning to get your pick. So is it likely it's going to go through on the first try? Probably not. Okay, it's all about probability. Given you've just come up for basically 6 days in a row, again, where would you like to short? Would you rather short at the start of the move and lose all your money, or at the end? Right? If it goes higher, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to scale in short further and hedge if you need to and reduce. Okay? But nonetheless, unless you're in my academy, you won't know how to do that. But my bias is short on the dollar CAD. Okay, and I'll probably re-enter after this stream. I've got further plans to re-enter 163.3. So that's your dollar CAD. Okay, so has anyone got any further questions? As always, just chuck them in the chat box, chuck them in the Discord, wherever you want, really. As long as I can see it and read it, that'd be ideal. One I will go over. I called this long, again, much for the same reasons I said earlier in the stream. Look back and just don't forget what's happened 5 minutes ago. Okay? Maybe not 5 minutes, maybe the end of May. But nonetheless, it's not long ago, is it? You're far off your MAs. Number one, you've clearly got a low price. You have seen this previously, so you know price has pushed up before. You hit it again and you push up. But wait a minute, what happens? This looks fishy, doesn't it? Because what happens is you get this big candle wick. So at which point I said to everyone on my academy and on TradingView, and I posted a picture of me making money out of it, you get light short. Okay, you get lightly short because clearly this is too much resistance for the market to handle. Hence early price action, hence early rejection. The market comes down. Okay, and it is where it is now. So I expect, because of that, like we were saying earlier, very weak push, that long side bias doesn't exist very much. I wouldn't be surprised if ultimately you drip down to 0.64 area. I've got a lot of Australian members and a lot of guys trade the ORD. There's tons of people coming in here now, so I'll take the opportunity to offer you now to ask a question. All you have to do is type it in the live chat, or perhaps if you prefer, there's a nice, attractive stream queues section here. You want to ask it in the Discord. Someone else has just come into the Discord, and people are getting my free training as well underneath, which is great. If you want my free training, the link is there. Okay, please do take it because it's going to help you a lot. My Discord, if you want to come in, is there. And if you can smash that like button now, if everyone can press that boost button, put me up the ranks, that'd be perfect. Because we don't do bullshit in here. So yeah, there's a lot of guys coming in. Please do ask your questions. If you miss the opportunity to do that, it's never good. But anyway, I think on your order, I think you're going to come under. Don't short it now, because all you would be doing is selling number one too late. It's too late to short there, and you would just be shorting into previous long zone, which doesn't make any sense, right? So don't short it, just hold off to 0.64. If you're a little bit more confident, you could mine along this, look for early gains, but it is weak, so you've got risk. Hence why you need to scale your risk accordingly. 0.64 for org is my ideal zone. So now on New Zealand dollar. You've got a similar situation. A lot of the time you do between AUD and New Zealand. They're fairly closely correlated. Your bounce here is struggling a bit more because you've got significant PA there. But I think ultimately, just like I said, and just like you've had every other time, and if you just look back, you come under these lows every time. 2 seconds. Let me just see what I can do. Okay, so yeah, if you are trading New Zealand, like I said, you can see it comes under every low. Every low has been beaten, and it's because like I said, the market is ranging to the downside. The market's always moving ranges. That is just your range this time. It's a downside range. Okay, like that. So I would expect in the long term, maybe even the nearer term, to beat this low. And then what I do is I look for key price action levels under the low, because I know that's the only way I can get the highest probability within my trading plan. Again, it's too late to short, but I would just let the market ride. You might need a vicious push, pull, if you like, or fall, whatever you want to call it. But ultimately, my bias remains long only when you can get to 0.594. And I know naturally, if I reflect on KPA, my hit rate's going to go up. Anything up nearer these MAs, these juicy MAs, it's always great when they curl over like this. That gives you appropriate shorts. And it gives you short zone 1, which you should be scaling your risk into accordingly. So key shorts, 0.613, followed by further shorts, 0.618. For me, that's my general directional bias. Swiss yen, I've done so many posts on this. If you shorted it this morning, I updated my post, great, you should be out. I'm not entirely sure that will last, and I think we'll get down here. I did hedge long it earlier for gains, okay, because you touched on that 20 MA. You're coming down to these key MAs here. You've got key price action and rejection. That would be ideal for hedge longs. But nonetheless, DCAing in short is fine. You've got a minor candle wick on your lower time frames just here. So that could be ideal for entries. DCA shorts here, touching on this 20 MA. So you've now curled under it, you're coming back to it. Very ideal as a technical process to reshort in line with the new founded trend, PA levels, then where your MAs lie, because the MAs give you basis for what is ideal price at any time. So that's that. If anyone has any questions, please post them. Can't see it at the moment. People are coming in the Discord, so just scroll down to the stream view section. I can answer whatever. There's loads of guys in here. If you can smash that boost button, that'd be fantastic. Okay. There's got to be something someone wants to know. Is anyone commenting on anything? No. If anyone's wondering as well, I know a lot of people do, my UK 100 bias, I'm still holding my longs. You're going sideways, that's your range today. I think you'll come out of that. I will exit probably about here, in line with the 200, most likely. But I think you're going to come up. I'm still long. I've got previous longs held, and I'll probably slam it short at that point. Probably short a larger size, not a ridiculous size, but in line with my risk plans at all times. If you do want my risk plans, you're sitting there wondering where they are and how you can actually take trading seriously, I'll post it in the chat box now. Okay, some of you are serious, I know, some of you aren't. Okay, it's right there. That is the link to be serious trading wise. It's up to you. There's a free webinar on there as well. So, yeah, lots of guys in here still. I can't see any questions. I don't know if it's just me. Put a message in there, questions. Maybe some people mute this while they're at work. Perhaps subtitles would be very ideal. Perhaps we could check on your Euro Yen. Okay, you're getting a rebound off here, probably key PA levels, higher time frames. I like it short on a push. I always trade the markets with ranges, just because it's the only way to do things. It's the only thing that works long term. Again, look at the early PA. Look at that rejection. What does it tell you? It's the same as your Swiss yen. So, yeah, looking short there. Dollar yen, I think, is probably the same. A lot of people wondering about this, I'm sure. That's minor PA up there, you would have seen, probably more visible on your 4 hour. But yeah, further shorts, you're hitting on very early PA. I would expect you need a news event to drag this lower. If you want to short your Euro Yen, Dollar Yen, it is a little bit too late because you've had a fall. I would wait for a rise across the board to reach short, okay? Because you're a little bit late on here as well. You can see that you're getting that early rejection just down here. It's the candle wick. Neo has asked me something. Great. What MA indicator are you using? I use the 20, the 40, 100 and 200 moving averages. If you want to know why, that is in my academy for paid members, but it works really well as a system because it just allows you to check market value constantly and keeps you in line with where traders are trading and why, if they're making money. That's why I use them. I use them on every single chart. If I'm trading stocks, I use them. If I'm trading FX commodities, doesn't matter what it is, I'm always using those MAs. They are the best MAs you can use, in my opinion. I mean, you can sort of add the 500 in, I guess. I mean, is something you can do. Unfortunately, when it, oh, there we are. We've got simple MA, at least. So, if I put 500, I'm not sure what colour it is, lighter blue. It was you the very, very long-term investor market. Okay, so basically the higher the MA, the more long-term the level. Right. So yeah. Okay. So there's still tons of people in here. Absolutely loads of them. And we're all sitting and we've done various assets we've looked over. We've gone over so much and learnt so much. And yeah, I can't see any questions. But luckily Neo in the Discord has asked me one. It's great. EuroCAD, I don't think I've done, so I will. EuroCAD, I like short as well. I like most Euros short today. I think you'll come to those key MAs with good reason. Price always retraces back to what is reality. what kind of price trade is like. Okay, and that's where I reckon you're going to get with your Euro CAD. 1465. You're in New Zealand, short as well. All your euros today, practically, I like short. Okay, you've got a new high, market maker stop. The larger money sometimes loads in after the high because their volume of trade pushes the market one way already, so they want a good price. Okay, so that is my preferred area. For an exit, 1.7, I think you'll get to 180 at least, but I'm short all euros. So we've gone over various things. Loads of people in here. If you can press the boost, guys, that'd be fantastic. If you've enjoyed it, let me know in the comments. Come and join the Discord. Grab my free training, most importantly. Follow me on socials. And if you're serious about trading and you want to get things right, send me a DM and or go to this site. Okay, if you're someone who wants to swing trade, day trade, or invest more accurately, and you're sat here trying to make things work, the only time it's going to work is if you get what works. And that's what I teach after learning for 10 years myself. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope that helps. And of course, I'll see you next time. See you there.